Perfect.
Okay, we're good to go.
Cool. Hi everyone, another day for International Women's Day campaign, and today I'm here with Cr Beverley Pinder. Thank you so much for joining me.
My absolute pleasure.
I really look up to her and her leadership, and she is my chair for Homelessness Advisory Committee for City Council.
Absolutely, you do a great job on there, Elvis.
So I want to ask you a couple of questions and learn from your leadership, and I want to be a leader like you.
Thank
you. And I think your leadership will inspire other young people in the community. So can you please tell us about your journey in becoming a councillor of City Council?
Well, that was a dream from the age of 13 when I first came to Australia. I was born in Sri Lanka, and there was this amazing man who helped us, my family. And I thought, one day I want to be like you. So I had I was going to be like him, you know, and he, male, female thing didn't even enter my mind. I just wanted to be like him, do what he does. And that was the dream that I carried with me all through. And then at a time in my life where I felt comfortable with what I'd achieved, I thought it's time now for civic duty and put my hand up.
That's so great. That's so great. Okay. What do you do at your workplace to make it a more gender balanced world?
Well, I'm a great lover of young women. I've got to tell you, I'm tough. I inspire them, and I install within them that strength to believe in themselves, and that's critical for any advancement on any front. I think women have to believe in themselves. I also feel and believe that older women have a very real role to play here in mentoring and bringing young women through the ranks and helping them in that empowerment, that self-empowerment process.
That's true. What advice would you like to give young people and young women and everyone in the community?
Well, it's interesting, Elvis, because I was just reflecting, and I was 5 years old when Sri Lanka appointed its very first in the world female prime minister. Now that was amazing, and I strongly believe that I felt from that day onwards that it's an equal world. So I haven't really in my life had any push-pull situation with gender equality, but I believe that young people ought to believe in themselves. They've got to be really concerned and have that desire to effect change within themselves, but also out there in society. And I think that's the only way we can actually then. So it's not a push-pull situation between male and female. That's not my view. Yeah, my view is believe in yourself and go out there and do it for yourself and for others. And that's an important aspect as well. For others.
That's true.
Very important.
That's true, and it's important to believe in ourselves, as you mentioned, and that's what takes everyone forward, and that's how we will become a progressive community.
Absolutely, yeah.
And can you tell us what does gender equality impact leadership, women's in leadership and leadership sector?
I guess the general view would be yes. But again, my view is that perhaps 40, 50 years ago, there weren't sufficient numbers of women putting their hand up to be leaders. We know that the small business community has its majority of business owners are female. So therein lies, one area where we're succeeding, and I've been in small business for 34 years. So I have never ever faced a situation where, because of gender, I didn't get a job, I couldn't get a story up in the newspapers or anything like that. It was the field was level for me. It was a level playing field for me.
Not only your leadership, everything what you do is really inspiring, and I'm seeing you from a couple of years now in your leadership. And one thing which is like off the topic, but I want audience to know is not just her leadership but her style, which I really look up to. Where did you did you work in a fashion industry? How always you are so dressed up and looking great and sharp, beautiful.
You're touching on something that's very, very innate for me. I was born, as I said, in Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
and came to Australia in the 60s. Australia in the 60s was a very different place.
Yeah.
And not many Australians knew where Sri Lanka was. I had to actually, convince people that,
There is a country.
There is a country called Sri Lanka. And I always knew that there was a difference about me. Yeah, I was very determined. We were very poor in Sri Lanka, and Australia was the place where I was going to really shine. And I took that dream with me, and every morning I'd actually do some visualizations at night, and every morning I'd wake up knowing that I wanted to succeed. But as I said earlier, importantly, I always wanted to take people along with me as well.
Yeah.
So I think this balance, balance for better is on your t-shirt. And balance is very important. You can't only think about self, you have always got to think about others.
That's true. And I noticed that going back to the answer which you have given for the previous question, where you say that I try to help young women, and I was just realizing that a lot of your staff is young women.
Yes. Yes.
Pretty much nearly all of them, and that is great. And
Yes.
because sometimes there are less people who it's easy to talk the talk, it's not easy to walk the walk. And when people say something and I see that they are doing, that is inspired.
True. I mean, I didn't quite finish the question on style and that.
Yeah.
So style for me is believing in being whomever you want to be. Yeah? And believing in that. It's so important that you don't succumb to the norm. And so and I will always probably, have images as an important aspect of my life, being in public relations as a public relations practitioner. But it's very important for women, young women, to feel that energy that comes from within every morning. Feel that energy and aspire to the highest level that they can attain, whether it's science and technology, whether it's politics, whether it's community. Aspire to being the very best at what you do, and keep giving.
That's true. It's a big statement, and yeah, that's true. I strongly agree with that. Thank you so much, Pinder, for joining me, and I really appreciate. And keep doing the inspiring work we are doing and making a big difference in community.
Thanks,
Thank you
Elvis.
so much.
Pleasure.